baby. All right, all right, all right. You are looking live. It's sold out, man. Life Stadium where today the 16-0 and playoff bound New York Giants are taking on the 0-16 Buffalo Bills. Why are the Buffalo Bills 0-16? Because they suck. Never won a Super Bowl. Went to 4 straight, lost all 4 of them. Been around since 1960. They won the 64 and 65 AFL championships. That's been it. Nothing. Not one Super Bowl in the Super Bowl era. Actually, they haven't won a championship in the Super Bowl era. Period. Buffalo Bills suck. Welcome to the Gridiron. Anybody out there at all that's going to spend a little bit of time with me here this evening, I greatly appreciate it. Thank you. Or if anybody's going to spend any time watching a replay this, once again, thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. Means the world to me. Going to try to go about 30 minutes here tonight. Shoot my mouth off about 30 minutes. Anybody got anything to say, please feel free. Fire away. Throw it in the chat box. Usually try to check on the chat box like every 5 or 10 minutes or so. So as soon as I see something in there, I try to respond to it as fast as I can. So please feel free and fire away. But plus also, seriously, instead of me just rambling on for half an hour, 45 minutes, or whatever it might wind up being, it's just nice to talk to another Giant fan. So please feel free and fire away with the comments. Before we get started, if anybody wants to help support the channel out, it would mean the absolute world to me. Description box below, the very top link in the description box takes you to my membership page. I got 3 different membership levels. First one's called the Saquon. Second one's called the Lawrence Taylor. And the third membership level I got is called the Gridiron. Each one's got their own little perks to them. So if you want to help support my channel out, it would mean so much to me. And I would thank you in advance. Thank you. If you are subscribed to my channel, once again, thank you. I can use all the support I can get, guys. But if not, please go down below, hit the subscribe button, hit that bell icon. That way next time I go live or if I put a video out, you'll be notified. And it's free of charge. What do you got to lose, right? But if you are subscribed to my channel, thank you. Maybe give this video a thumbs up or share this video. That would be freaking awesome. And then finally, just a little ways down in the description box, there's 2 additional links. The top one's a Facebook link. I'll go over that one in just a second. The one underneath it, I'm an old-time fart. Can't stand change. Don't be changing stuff up on me. I'm too much of a moron to adapt and have to think and all that kind of stuff. Leave crap the way it is, right? I'm one of them, get off my lawn type old-time farts, right? The link on the bottom link, it's a Twitter link. It's always been Twitter. It'll always be Twitter to me. Whatever letter of the alphabet Elon Musk wants me to call it, that's on you, bro. I'm not calling it that. I'm calling it Twitter. You know why? Because it's Twitter. Follow me on Twitter. I'll follow you back. That's an absolute promise. I try to put Giants-related stuff in my Twitter account every day. And finally, the link on top of it, right, takes you to my Facebook group. It's called the New York Giants, the Gridiron. It's my Facebook group. It's doing simply marvelous, might I add. Basically, we have over 8,600 members in the group. If I'm alive and breathing and if I have internet access, I'm putting stuff in this group darn near 365. And not only am I putting stuff in this group, but the members post stuff in this group as well. So between me and the members, there's a ton of New York Giants information going in this group every day. It's called the New York Giants, the Gridiron. It's my Facebook group. Please join it. You won't be dissatisfied. I promise. All right. Well, Randy's here. We can continue. What's up, good boy? I guess sometimes I yell a little too loud. I wake him up from his nap, and so he comes over and joins me. So Randy's here, so we can continue now. All right. Well, Hard Knocks 2 coming soon to a theater near you. It came and went. So I guess we found out a little bit about that Saquon. The Shane, Saquon, are you going to give me your word on that? Or, then of course they cut it off. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, what happened? Is something dramatic go on? Shane was asking, say, what's going on? Saquon didn't sound too enthused about, in my heart, I don't know, maybe he woke him up. I don't know. Who knows? But so it was nice. The one I guess, what Shane was kind of seeming to go by is that, he's trying to obviously do what's right for the Giants, but also, obviously what Saquon means a lot to the team. Certainly Mr. Mara means a lot to the fans, the organization, all that and everything. He just wanted to seem to, I guess, do right by him. Didn't want to tag him again because I guess Saquon didn't want to go through that. although it's all guaranteed money. You know, it sounded like, you know, if he was able to get some type of a deal out there, he'd come back. You know, I mean, that sounded like what the proposal was supposed to be. Well, I guess so as of right now in Hard Knocks, Saquon's a free agent. So I guess as we got 3 more episodes. So as the episodes go by, I guess somewhere along the line they'll be coming back. You know, Saquon. Yeah, I got an offer. The Eagles are going to pay me $385 million a year, guarantee all of it because they overpay everybody. So I guess we'll learn about that maybe the next episode or maybe the one after that or whatever. But you know, up soon we'll go find out exactly what happened with the with the Saquon and everything. But a couple of things. One of them, like Dable, he was funny. Like, man, I know I can do a 7-second 40. So you put a plate of wings down 40 yards away. I can run a 7-second 40. And Shane and those guys didn't even think he can do it. But the one thing is that, you know, the Giants, they were, you know, they were, you know, don't know how serious things wind up coming, but you know, Shane, he went over to the he went and knocked on the door of the Patriots at the I guess at the combine and mentioned you know, said if they were going to plan on maybe doing anything with pick number 3. You know, at least give us pick the phone up and call. Yeah, we're willing to move it or something or whatever. So they did go and talk to the Patriots. So interesting. I mean, because sometimes you hear this stuff. Yeah, the Giants were. Yeah, I mean, sources say that the Giants were interested in trading up the numbers. I mean, you don't know who the sources are, how true the sources were, and all. But I mean, Shane just went over there and he at the combine. Man, he went over and talked to him about possibly moving up to number 3. Now we don't know. Maybe we'll find out. Maybe. Because the draft had not come around yet, right? That was just the combine. So will we find out in the upcoming final 3 episodes? Will there be a point in time where Shane's talking on the phone to somebody from the Patriots and they call and they say, hey, if you want, it's going to cost you 3 ones if you want to move up from 6 to 3. We'll take your next 3 first-round picks if you want to. I mean, so we'll find out. But Shane did open the door to possibly moving up to number 3. And as I said, we don't know, and maybe we'll find out in the upcoming episodes. You know, were the Patriots ever willing to reasonably, you know, I mean, move that pick number 3? Now I think they did the right thing. I mean, if they feel. Obviously, whoever the guy's in charge of the organization, right? I mean, Mayo's the man right now, right? It's no more Bill Belichick, right? But if they felt inside, right, that there's a quarterback there, a can't miss quarterback, I'm not moving. Yeah, I mean, I said, unless you're willing to give us like whatever, the next however many ones, or something like that. But other than that, if they're gung ho on May or Daniels, whoever wants, if they were going one of those quarterbacks, they need a quarterback, and they're not winning with Zappy or any, you can forget about it, right? The good thing about this is like with Mayo, as far as with like New England, all this is year 1. Okay. So he's got his own quarterback coming in, right? You automatically have a year, right year 1 off the books. Forget it. I mean, that's a gimme. That's like a 1-inch putt. It's a gimme. You got 1 year, right? So, so let's get your quarterback in here. I don't know if they're starting him week 1 or whatever, but let's get that mofo on the field sometime this season. Let's start getting him some experience and all. Let's start building a team around them, right? So next year we can kind of hit the ground running, okay, with our quarterback. And, he'll have, I don't know. I don't know if he's going to have 17 games under his belt. If he'll have 12, 13, 10. I don't know, but he'll have some games under his belt. And he can start the ground running in the second season, and hopefully they can start building from there. But I mean, I don't blame the Patriots at all. I mean, once again, I don't know, right? As I said, maybe we will find out if they pick the phone up and talk to anybody like the Giants say, But if they had no inkling of moving, I don't blame them. I mean, you got to get a quarterback. I mean, it's darn near impossible, to win a Super Bowl without a quarterback. A real good top-notch quarterback. The 49ers got themselves a good quarterback, but the thing is their quarterback is only making like $1 million a year. When he's going to want, Shanahan might just keep playing the game, right? Right? When it's time for Purdy to get paid, I think I'll draft myself a quarterback because Shanahan's good, smart, right? Right. So he might draft himself another quarterback and say bye-bye to Purdy, right? And bring in another quarterback, and they just keep rocking and rolling. But there's only so many like Shanahan's out there. It's not, not everybody can do that with a 7th round quarterback, take them to the Super Bowl and everything like that. But I mean, as I said, with the 49ers, what they got, I mean, their offense, their defense, their wide receiver. I mean, they're just loaded with talent. But I mean, one of the reasons why they're loaded with talent is because they're not paying their quarterback $50 million a year. If Purdy gets to the point where they're paying him whatever, $40-50 million a year, you just start saying bye-bye, you. Bye-bye, Deebo Samuel. Bye-bye. You know what I mean? Yeah. I mean, you can't keep everybody. The NFL does not want that. Right? They want the parity, right? So I said, that's going to be interesting to find out. It was interesting. You got at the combine, you had the quarterbacks coming in, and they were, Dable was drilling the quarterbacks. Having them drawing up what plays they liked. That Caleb Williams was in there, May was in there, like Daniels was in there. So bringing in some of those guys. Obviously, Harrison was in there. Obviously, Dunze was in there. Neighbors was in there. We're going to go over Neighbors in a little bit. Mister, woo! I'm going to Girly World. Woo! Mister Malik Girly World Neighbors. So brought those guys in. So it was a lot of good stuff. A lot of good stuff. I want to see it again because you watch it the first time, you're trying to consume everything like that, and obviously I want to. It's the same thing with the first one. Yeah. Yeah, what I mean? Because I'll watch it, and then the next day there'll be people writing stuff up. They have articles and stuff, and I'm like, oh, yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, I forgot about that. And so I'm going to have to watch it probably like another time or so, whatever like that. But it was really, really good, really interesting. Let's see. What else? Well, there was that. They were talking about Burns. About possibly trading for Burns, but at the time when they were talking about trading for Burns, they're like, well, they were going to probably want at least 2 twos. They kept throwing that out there, and you're going to have to pay him like 28, 29 million or whatever it was, or something like that. That they were right, but the 2 twos, no. So they didn't make the trade for him yet. So maybe next Tuesday they'll make the trade. But I mean, coming through with a second and a fifth, I mean, for Burns. Very good. Very, very good. So, I mean, very, very informative. As I said, I definitely want to look at it and watch it again and all, because I said I'll watch it a couple of times because I just watched it, and then I started getting some information for this and everything. So, very good. I really, really liked it. It is a nice, it was kind of cool if they had. I mean, I know Shane and Mara and all that, they ain't gonna want that, but I mean, it almost be pretty cool if you had this, almost every year. Wouldn't that be cool? Giants on Hard Knocks every year. I said that's why I like about what they're doing with the Giants, because there's so much going on. Because after the season ended, you You got free agency, you got the combine, you got the draft, you got, a lot of stuff going on. So a lot of different moving parts going on. So I think this is pretty cool. I really, really like it. Really cool. So we got 3 more to go. So next Tuesday, you got 3 Tuesdays, the final 3 Tuesdays in July. So pretty good. So far, so good. All right. So that's that. As I said, I think some more stuff. I'll bring it up. But there was a lot of stuff there to try to consume. But the Giants, show me the money. NFL sent the Giants a stunning check with even more on the way. Well, this wasn't just the Giants. The NFL is a behemoth. This is from sportingnews.com. Kevin Hickey and the Giants will be proud to be part of it once their revenue check from the league clears. Oh, yeah. According to Kurt Badenhausen and Lev Akabas, maybe, of Sportico, the NFL generated just a bit outside, just under $13 billion. That's with a B, dollars in national revenue for the 2023 season. That means the Giants and the rest of the league got cut a massive check of $404 million for the previous campaign. Not bad, not bad. Almost half $500 million. The number that each team received from the league was an increase of $30 million from the 2022 season. So, right. Sportico mentioned that they talked to 4 different teams about the revenue they generated in 2023. The anonymous teams reported 4 different figures. One was $402 million, one was $404, one was $418, and another was $425 million. For the sake of this article, they stuck with $404 million, which is roughly the estimate for each team. He also noted that the national payout for each team is up 115% over the last decade, and they expect a similar rate of increase, over the next decade. If that stays true, it would mean upwards of $800 million per team, I guess, by the end of the decade. Wow. So by 2030, they're talking about maybe, 2030? Holy cow. The NFL also made headlines this offseason after losing a lawsuit. That's true, too. So while the Giants got cut a check for over $400 million, they might be on the hook for $450 million because of basically the Sunday ticket drama that's kind of going on there. And the NFL is appealing the ruling, but the damages could result in each team paying a share of $14.4 billion, or roughly $450 million per team. The revenue share for each team should help ease the load if the league does have to make those payments. And it's just another reminder of what kind of Goliath the NFL is. Oh, yeah. And that's the thing. And you just figure, right? I mean, if, oh, gee, what's going on there? What's up, Vinny G-Man? He's in the house. I was just talking about the, when it first started, I came on. I was trying to think of like the stuff about the Hard Knocks, the Hard Knocks 2. I mean, it was pretty cool. I mean, I was just trying to, think of some stuff real fast. They were at the combine. They were talking to the receivers. They were talking to the quarterbacks. Dable was drilling the quarterbacks. Shane was talking to, I guess, to his agent, and then he talked. I guess then he was talking to Saquon, and they were talking about just letting him go. Hit free agency. Let's see what kind of market you got, right? And then come on back, right? If if somebody offers you something, come on back. Give us a chance, right? Because apparently he was talking. They was talking about if Saquon would be on the team for another couple of years, he might wind up in the Ring of Honor. He's probably not going to be in the Ring of Honor now, especially because of the Eagles. But I mean, he's not going to be in the Ring of Honor probably for any team, right? So obviously he's hitting free agency, but of course, obviously we know what winds up happening there. It was the combine. One of the last things they had was that they went to I guess the scouts and all that. They went to dinner afterwards. They were talking about they were talking about the possible trade for Burns. They're also talking about maybe do they go after Wilkins or they go after Burns. I think they made the good choice. I'm happy that they got the 2 edge rushers. That's good because you got Burns is a proven edge rusher. Let's see if we get maybe the defensive tackle maybe next year in the draft, right? And we could solidify that defensive wall. That would be fantastic. If we got a Karake behind him, maybe Isaiah Simmons, right? That would be a nice defense. If we get Nubin, could step up and be a decent safety. We got Pinnock, right? We got Banks. Let's see how the cornerbacks work out this year. But that was, as I said, it was the same thing with Hard Knocks 1. After I watched it the first time, I'm like, oh, that was cool. I had some things and all that and everything like that. Then, of course, then I watch it a second time and I'm like, oh, I forgot about talking about that. So I'm gonna have to watch it again. But it's pretty cool. Pretty cool. Well, obviously, you got 3 more episodes to go. We'll find out more stuff as we go along. But as of right now, Saquon just hit the open market, right? So we'll have to wait and see how it went down. And the one thing is that it was true. It was true. Shane went over at the combine, and he went over and he talked to the New England Patriots. Said something along the lines, if you have any plans, about moving pick number 3. At least just pick the phone up and give us a call. Let us know you're thinking about it or something like that. So, so the draft didn't happen yet, right? So maybe in the final 3 episodes, we'll find out, was there anything at all? Did the Patriots call the Giants? Because that would be big, we'll move pick 3 if you want to move up from 6 to 3. It's going to, it's going to cost you 3 first rounders, or it's going to cost, So we'll have to wait and see. Was there any serious going on with moving up? But Shane did go over there and talk to him. So I don't know. Whoever, one of the quarterbacks was in play. If the Giants could have moved up, they were going to move up. So sometimes you hear these reports, right? There's a report the Giants wanted to do this, or a report that so and so wanted to do that, and it's like you don't know. But it was true. It was true, and you heard it out of Shane's mouth. He went over in there and he talked to the Patriots about moving. So very, very interesting. So, and it's interesting. I said, like with this saying that the NFL wrote the Giants a check, but so the Giants got a check of a little over $400 million, but then they might be on the hook for $450 million from the Sunday ticket debacle. So, but just goes to show you. They got written a check. That was a check that was from the NFL. The revenue check. So I don't know all the other ways. Does that include jersey sales? Or include so. Wow, so they're making almost $500 million, maybe even more. I said if jersey sales and I know the Giants get a certain percentage of the revenue from if they sell at the games, they're selling a soda for $552. A 12-ounce beer is like $1,000. Bottle of water is like $8 million. So I guess they're getting cut in on that as well too. So it's not bad. Not bad being a football owner, huh? It's worthwhile. And of course, then the Giants were worth almost $7 billion as well as an organization. So, wow. Tell you what, boy, there's some money being made. Let me tell you what. But thank goodness it's a fantastic sport. Now, this guy here, I'll tell you what. You get all kinds you just get straight up stupidity here. You just can't teach stupid. But of course, we got this one article here. One guy, was it the Giants and 5 other teams? Or there's just 5 teams? This is from Alex Ballantyne, I guess Bleacher Report. An idiot. NFL teams who must consider tanking for the 2025 draft as top priority. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I mean, just what an idiot. Absolute idiot. Says, as Herm Edwards once tactfully pointed out, you play to win the game. Yes, that is absolutely correct, Herm. 100%. There's no question that every player goes into the season with optimism that their team can win games, and coaches had too much at stake in terms of job security to outright tank from week one. I mean, it's just stupid. Really stupid. So you got here, the following teams aren't going to start outright tanking, but they also should be making moves that might improve their positioning for next year's draft. First one of these guys, the Denver Broncos, and basically a lot of these teams that, going to be like possibly needing quarterbacks maybe in the future, right? So, the Broncos have already staked the future on Bo Nix. They shouldn't go back on that regardless of what 2024 looks like. Sean Payton's team had multiple other needs that the next draft class could fulfill. So I don't know why on earth they would consider, if they got their quarterback, Bo Nix, why they would consider tanking. I mean, it's just so stupid. So stupid. I mean, nobody's going to go in there tanking because, if you're in there tanking, I mean, you're going to tell a player, I mean, guys, just take it easy. Don't give it. I mean, what are you kidding me? I mean, you can't go in there and just, come on, we got to win and this, that, and the other thing. And all of a sudden later on in the season, you're going to start losing the locker room. You're going to start losing players. You can't be there. That's because, plus also, I'm not saying it doesn't happen, I mean, it kind of looked like Adoree Jackson was kind of like, didn't want to, toward the end of the last season, like he really didn't seem like he really wanted to give it like his all. Sometimes like he maybe kind of like didn't want to get in on a hit here or hit there or something like that. Maybe one of the reasons why the Giants didn't bring him back. Now, I'm certainly not saying guys don't, mail it in, but for the most part, I mean, guys start, I'm not saying they're tanking, but I mean, they start giving up or this or that. I mean, every play you put out there is on your resume. It's on film, right? I mean, now it's on the all 22. You can see every play you've done from 315 different angles. I mean, they can pick you apart. I mean, if you're out there and you're not giving it your all, you're trying to make money. I mean, the teams might cut you. Other teams may not want to pick you up. They may not want to have nothing to do with you. Some teams might pick you up instead of paying you $5 million a year. They might offer you 2 or 3 or something like that. Coaches start tanking. They get fired. I mean, who the heck's going to be? I mean, it's just stupid. Absolutely stupid. I mean, it even suggests stuff like this. Talks about the Raiders needing to tank. Let's see who else. So we got the Saints needing to tank. Let's see who else we got here. Who's the other team here? The Seattle Seahawks and the Tennessee Titans. But then the other one, of course, is the Giants. You should consider tanking, be the Giants. Whether the Giants can afford to tank in 2024 probably depends on whether owner John Mara is able to extend some grace to Brian Daboll and general manager Joe Schoen for the Daniel Jones contract. But, I mean, they don't tank. I mean, it's just so stupid. Shane gave Jones a 4-year, $160 million contract last offseason while contract talks with Barkley stalled and resulted in a 1-year deal. Fast forward to 2024, and Jones' status as a franchise quarterback is still in question. Barkley is now with the Beagles. Those Beagles not only added Barkley, but also added Bryce Huff on defense in addition to 2 new coordinators who could fix their woes from last season or make their woes even worse. The Cowboys still have a ton of talent, even if it feels like everyone is in the contract year. The Commanders have an exciting answer at quarterback and a new head coach. There are things to get excited about with the Giants. Malik Neighbors gives them the biggest potential star at receiver since Odell Beckham Jr., and the defensive line added a huge missing piece in Brian Burns. But it feels like this offense is still far from providing the Giants with a contender. If Mr. Mara can exercise some patience, making moves that would see the team to be more competitive with a potential first-round quarterback might be the best path forward. Just ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. I mean, today. Now this is from Giants country. Now they're talking about here. Who the heck wrote this article here? They're contradicting it. This story. Patty Trainer said, "Okay, let's stop right there. First, there is no way that John Mara, one half of the team's ownership, and a man who it's well known hates to lose, would ever sign off on such a proposal. None, zero, nada. Mark it in the books in permanent ink. Second, just think of the message tanking would send to a locker room filled with athletes who have trained year-round for a 17-game NFL season with a chance for the playoffs. And I certainly think the Giants, if things go well, if obviously, if they can stay healthy, I really don't see why when we turn the calendar page from November and we're heading into December, the Giants can't be, at least somewhere knocking on the playoff door. Not saying we're in there, we're locked in or whatever, but I don't see why the Giants, couldn't have a reasonable chance to make the playoffs once we start turning into December. I mean, it also says here, it says, why bother practicing? Why bother attending meetings? Doing anything to support the season, which, by the way, happens to the Giants' 100th season. Could you imagine the Giants' 100th season, them tanking? Could you imagine that? Valentine reasons for even suggesting the Giants tank to get a quarterback in next year's draft. But come on. First, can we project which quarterbacks could be in the next year's draft? That all it takes is for an injury or for an undergraduate prospect people think might declare to change his mind, which is true, right? I mean, we went through that with didn't we go through that with like Herbert? I think it was. I think 1 year Herbert was going to maybe come out, maybe he went back in or something. I mean, it's like you don't know who's coming out. I mean, but that though, I mean, you don't even know. One of these guys might get hurt. I mean, tanking. It's just stupid. Absolutely stupid. And then it says here, and who's to say cast Nathaniel Jones, the incumbent who now has a better offensive line and a number one wide receiver, might not actually look like a top 15 quarterback by the time the season is over. Seriously, we get that Jones hasn't inspired confidence among part of the fan base and media alike, but before suggesting the Giants give up on him and take on a $22.2 million dead money cap hit in 2025, don't the Giants at least owe it to themselves and to Jones to see if he is closer to being the quarterback who led the team to the playoffs in 2022. So, no, the Giants aren't going to throw the season away just for the sake of competing for the number one overall draft pick. No matter how many people urge them to tank, Brian Daboll won't allow it. Of course not. Joe Schoen won't allow it. Ownership won't allow it. It's absolutely. And then one of the other things, too, is that a lot of times, you get these quarterbacks just because there's like a 50% chance that the quarterback ain't going to be any good, right? I mean, could you imagine throwing away a whole season and drafting a quarterback or pick number 2 or number 4, whatever like that? I mean, there's a chance he may not work out. I mean, wow. So then you throw away a whole season, you draft a quarterback, and you give him 2 or 3 years, and it still doesn't work out. So it's like, it just really absolutely just crazy. Absolutely crazy for people that could just consider tanking. Absolutely crazy. All right, then they started with the 100 top players in Giants history, and they revealed players 100 through 91. Now the thing is that they went to like some type of an independent panel or something like that. They brought in Bob Papa was there with Lawrence Tynes and Rich Seibert, I believe it was, and it was some lady who had been covering the NFL for a while. I mean, whoopee-doo. I mean, she was part of the panel. I mean, and they asked them to be, to go into Giants history and come up with the top 100 Giants of all time. I mean, yeah. So you go to these people who, if they spend 24 hours a day on football, they're supposed to know everything about all 32 teams. to pick out the top 100 Giants of all time. If they had 24 hours a day and they had 32 teams they're supposed to know, that means they could spend 40 minutes a day on each team. Why would you have people who spend 40 minutes per team per day? Well, why don't you go ask people who follow the Giants 24/7? I mean, I don't understand. I mean, they're talking to this one lady. I said, I don't remember her name, but it doesn't mean she's not knowledgeable. She doesn't. I'm certainly not saying that or anything like that. But she's like, yeah, I got to start looking at. They went to. She was like a panel of 13 different people, and she's like, yeah, I had to start like looking at stats and going to YouTube videos and stuff like that and all. It's like, I mean, shouldn't you know some of these? I mean, I don't know. I mean, this seems kind of bit weird. Why they're not asking people who actually know the Giants players? But so they unveiled their 91 to 100, the top players of all time. So we got number 91 was Lawrence Tynes. Now the thing is with him, I mean, hey, we're always in debt to him, of course, all the time. I mean, I certainly hope Pete Gogolak is on here if Lawrence Tynes is on here, because Pete Gogolak is the all-time leader in Giants points scored. I mean, he's got to be on there. I mean, Lawrence Tynes, I mean, he's got 2 Super Bowl wins, obviously, right? He did kick us into the Super Bowl 2 times, the playoff overtime championship games and all. I mean, the second one, I certainly don't want to downplay anything he did, but the second one was a rather short field goal to try in overtime against the 49ers. I mean, obviously the one, is obviously, which, be etched in your Giants' minds forever. Was it the 47-yarder in Lambeau Field in 2007? I mean, that's and still, I think they said to this day, nobody, I think in the playoffs, I'm not sure if it's visiting team or anybody, period, has kicked the ball farther or as far as that, a 47-yarder in that direction in Lambeau Field in the playoffs. I mean, that just goes to show you. And, of course, it goes to show you how, it was that difficult it is kicking one that far in that direction. But I mean, you give those weather elements in there, it's like, holy cow. I mean, that was, but also the fact that he missed 2 previous field goal attempts just prior to that, right? So I'm just wondering if he never made that field goal attempt, would it be on this list? Who knows? Then he got that's 91, 92, number 92. Is Darryl Dess. He was an offensive lineman for the Giants. He played. He was on 3 different teams, but I believe he played like at least 10 years for the Giants. It says here, let's see. Dess was originally an 11th round draft pick for the Steelers out of North Carolina State in '58. The following year, he went to Giants for the first of his 2 stints until 1964. He moved to Washington in '65, but in '66 he returned to the Giants, where he stayed until he called it a career after 1969. During his stint with the Giants, Dess enjoyed the best years of his career when he made back-to-back Pro Bowls in '62 and '63. He appeared in 146 career games. He was 61, 62, and 63. The 3 straight championship years. That we, of course, we lost them all. But number 62, decent, back-to-back Pro Bowls. Then I guess number 93, Terry Kennard. Kennard was the first-round pick by the Giants in the 1983 draft out of Clemson. Voted to the All-Rookie team. Kennard voted to his only Pro Bowl in 1988. Was also the starting safety on the Giants' Super Bowl 21 team. He finished his career with 31 interceptions, 7 fumble recoveries in 121 games. He was elected to the College Football Hall of Fame in 2001. Kennard played for the Giants from 83 to 89 before he closed out his career in 1990 with the Houston Oilers. It's a shame he didn't. I don't know exactly what happened But I mean, shame he didn't one more year with the Giants. He would have won himself 2 Super Bowls, right? Gordon 94, Eric Howard. He was part of the 86 draft. The Giants in 1986, their first 6 picks were all defensive players. Howard was the second of 4 second-round picks the Giants had in 1986 and would eventually become a starter in 1989 after Jim Burt left the Giants to play for the 49ers. A 2-time Super Bowl champion and 1990 Pro Bowler, among Howard's biggest contributions as a Giant was in 1990, the NFC title game when he caused Roger Craig to fumble, which, of course, Lawrence Taylor recovered. And, of course, then Jeff Hostetler led us down the field where Matt Barr kicked the game-winning field goal. There will be no three-peat. 95, number 95, they put Saquon in there. Yeah, it's hard to argue with that. The short period of time he's been with the Giants. That's short. 6 years. This is Barkley, who this past offseason departed the Giants for the Bengals. Was the second overall pick in the 2018 draft, a man who the general manager Dave Gettleman declared as being gold jacket worthy, which is true. I mean, if he was on a better team, if he was able to stay healthy, oh yeah, I'm sure he could probably put up really good numbers. Absolutely. During his rookie season, Barkley led the NFL with 2,028 yards from scrimmage and set the Giants' rookie record with rushing yards at 1,307. He also tied the franchise record for receptions, 91, shared with Odell Beckham Jr., and broke the team rookie records for total touchdowns with 15. Barkley was a 2-time Pro Bowler after the 2018 and 2022 seasons. Also became the first player in Giants history to rush for at least 1,000 yards in each of his first 2 seasons. And he holds a single-game record for most scrimmage yards, 279, set against Washington in 2019. Number 96, defensive back Willie Williams. Yeah, he was with the Giants in the wilderness years. Yeah, he's back there with Spider Lockhart. Williams was drafted in the 8th round of the 65 draft, which is the same draft that Spider Lockhart came out, I do believe. He was picked number 99 overall out of Grambling State by the Giants in 65. He played 1 season for the Giants before going to the Raiders in 66. The following year, he returned for a 7-year run with the Giants from 67 to 73 and would earn his first Pro Bowl berth in 19. They got it mixed up here. He would earn his first Pro Bowl berth in 1696. That might be 1969. I'm not sure, and he led the NFL in interceptions in 1968. I believe he had 10. I think he's the only one, I think, in Giants history, I think, who had, or he's the last one maybe in Giants history to have double digits in interceptions in a season. Williams played 100 games for the Giants and has 35 career interceptions, which are tied for Dick Lynch for 4th most in franchise history. During the 68 season, he led the league in interceptions with 10. The last time a Giants player recorded double-digit interceptions. He was also just one of 5 players to accomplish the feat in the franchise history. Okay. So there were 4 other guys that had double digits. Number 97, Hakeem Nicks. Nicks, the Giants' first-round pick in 2009, might forever be known for the Giants' lore for his postseason showing in 2011. He finished with 444 receiving yards, the second most in a single postseason. One of his receptions became the famous 37-yard Hail Mary catch. Oh, yeah, at the end of the first half against the Packers. Number 98. Now, the one nice thing is that, it's nice to see that they're getting some older players in there. They got number 98 is Eddie Price. Now, a lot of it is, if you start going back, the farther you go back, the harder it was to play any type of long career, much less with the same team. I mean, you go back into the 20s and the 30s, you get a knee injury or something like that, you can almost forget about it. I mean, not that the guys were running out onto the field and popping their ACLs like they are left and right nowadays. But I mean, the medicine and whatever it was back then, it was just a lot different. So you go back a long ways ago, a long time ago. It's hard for guys to have a long, lengthy NFL career. So it's nice to see, and plus a lot of it also is that, especially offensive guys, you go back into the 20s and the 30s, there's not a lot of stats out there. So some of these guys, they played, but you don't know exactly how many rushing yards they had or how many receptions they had or how many completed passes quarterbacks had and stuff, So it's nice to see that they included some guys, some older guys. And obviously there's got to be like Mel Hines got to be in there. Emlyn Tunnell's got to, there's got to be a ton of older guys. Ken Strong got, right, Ward Tough, Benny Friedman. I don't know if Benny Friedman will be in there. Tuffy Lehman's has got to be in there, So, but anyway, Eddie Price, a second-round pick for the Giants in 1950, played his entire career with Big Blue. Price went on to earn 3 Pro Bowl berths after 51, 52, and 54, and 2 All-Pro nods. He led the NFL in rushing in 1951 with 971 yards and 271 carries over a 12-week schedule. He finished his NFL career appearing in just 63 games, with 50 starts, racking up 3,292 yards and 846 carries and 20 touchdowns as a rusher. He also had 75 receptions for 672 yards and 4 receiving touchdowns. So it's nice to see that some of these older players are getting some love here. Number 99, Brad Benson. So here, 99 and 100, I got some of the offensive linemen. Now, it's so hard to put these guys in order. I mean, they got Seibert is number 100. I mean, why Benson's 99 and Soibert's 100? Why isn't Soibert? Right. Benson was an 8th-round pick out of Penn State in 77, a pick made by the New England Patriots. However, he never played for the Patriots, who cut him. After Benson returned home to Altoona, Pennsylvania, where he did some substitute teaching, he got a call from the Giants inviting him for a tryout. Despite impressing in his tryout, the team didn't have an opening for him. A few days after his tryout, the Giants, thanks to an injury to one of their guards, had an opening. They immediately called Benson, who, when the call came in that Monday, was in the middle of teaching a class. But by the time he finished playing in 1987, Benson was part of the Giants' offensive line. Head coach Bill Parcells affectionately called the Lunch Pail Guys. He earned Pro Bowl honors and was named a second-team All-Pro, both honors coming in 1986. Of course, 86, you got Benson, Ard, Oates, Godfrey, Nelson. That's the Fab Five from 86. So, there's a lot of guys. It's hard to pick and choose. You start getting, these pick number 100. I mean, for every Rich Seibert out there, I'm sure I could probably come up with some 1 or 2 other guys, but it is what it is. And I said pick number 100 was Rich Seibert, who was the very definition of tough, an undrafted free agent out of Western Illinois this is just, they need to check their typing before they do anything here. It says Rich Seibert. Right? Rich Seibert was the very definition of tough, an undrafted free agent out of Western Illinois in 2011. Maybe 2001, not 2011. It didn't take long for the young offensive lineman to start impressing his new teammates and coaches. He impressed so much that Jim Moose McNally, Seibert's offensive line coach, introduced him to Wally Tamara, an honor that few undrafted rookie free agents got at the time. Seibert, who played his entire career with the Giants, was initially known for being part of the officiating controversy in the 2002 NFC playoffs. Long snapper Trey Junkin botched a snap, and Seibert, an eligible receiver on the play, was targeted by holder Matt Allen. Soibert was interfered with by a 49er defender, but the officials instead called an illegal man downfield, denying the Giants, who lost that game 39. I mean, just the officials, just absolute idiots, absolute morons. He was downfield. He's an illegal receiver that be downfield, and he gets pulled down. And ain't nothing wrong with that. Absolute idiots. The referees are. Soibert suffered a horrific broken leg injury in 2003 in a game against the Eagles when the back of his right leg was stepped on. After multiple surgeries and seemingly endless rehabs, Soibert's second season, Soibert worked his way back to the team, at first in spot duty on special teams as a jumbo tight end before he found his way back to the starting lineup at guard, and then eventually adding center to his offerings. Soibert was part of the Giants' 2007 Super Bowl championship team. Absolutely. Right? Soibert's career ended when he dislocated his right kneecap and tore some ligaments in the joint in the 2010 regular season finale. The following year, he was released and the NFL career was over. It's a shame because, I mean, once again, if he could have made it one more year, he would have had himself 2 Super Bowl. I mean, because unfortunately, by the time 2011 rolled around, Deal and Soibert and McKenzie and Snee, right, and Sean O'Hara, that the Fab Five was starting to whittle its way down. So unfortunately, O'Hara and Soibert were not part of the 2011. McKenzie was, Deal was, I guess, right, Snee was. Those 3 guys were, I believe. But Soibert and O'Hara didn't quite. I think they made it to 2010. I think they didn't make it to 2011 where they would have got themselves their second Super Bowl ring, but it is what it is. But so we'll have to wait and see as things goes along here. Because obviously, I'm not sure how the when 81 to 90 when that gets released. Does that get released like tomorrow? Does it get released next week? Was it going to be like 10 players a week until the season starts? I don't know how it's going to happen. I'll keep my eyes out and everything like that. But it's very subjective. The thing I'm just kind of like one is that they did a panel. I mean, it's like I don't understand. It makes no sense at all to me. Why are you picking people who cover the NFL? Which is cool, I get it. But if they have to cover the NFL, they're covering 32 teams. In 24 hours, you can put 40 minutes on each team, and you have to remember all these teams. You can spend 40 minutes on each team in the NFL in a day. 40 minutes. If you bleed blue, you can spend 24 hours in a day on one team. I'd rather get a panel like Paul Dottino and Bob Papa. You can get other historians, Giant. Maybe you get back John Mara, right? You put Mara in there, Bob Papa, Paul Dottino. I'm sure you come up with other guys, right? Who bleed blue, right? Who spend 24 hours a day bleeding blue, breathing. Right. Thinking, talking Giant football, right? Why wouldn't you have those guys? Why do you have an independent panel? But so I'll certainly keep my eyes out there for the next 10 guys to come out. And finally, I'll tell you what, boy, there's absolutely nothing, and I mean absolutely nothing, that could possibly come good from going to Girly World. I mean, Giants rookie receiver Malik Neighbors seen going crazy at strip club. New York Giants receiver is from Giants country. Anthony Lusardi, I believe that's how you pronounce it. I'm an idiot, so if I pronounce his name wrong, I do apologize. He was recently seen at a strip club having fun before the rigors of the first NFL training camp. Well, He may not have shown up to Michael Rubin's all-white party of NFL stars and entertainment celebrities, but that didn't stop New York Giants receiver Malik Neighbors from having some fun on July 4th weekend. Neighbors was seen partying at a strip club on Saturday night, ultimately going viral on social media. A musician, presumably Neighbors' friend, YNH Primetime, quickly got the attention of NFL aggregator and the Giants fans accounts alike, and boasted soon after that it isn't the first time putting someone in the social media spotlight. Fans can watch the clip of Neighbors below. I mean, he's in there, and he's got, it looks like it's just a stack of ones. But I mean, a stack is, I don't know, it's probably like $1,000. I'm thinking, because if you take 100, I don't know, maybe it was even more than that, but it's like at least one stack I seen was that. It looks like it was probably all ones. But I mean, there's absolutely nothing good. I hope some guys talk to him. I mean, there's a lot of ways of having fun. Taking money and just basically just throwing it in the toilet is absolutely, one more time, absolutely just stupid. I mean, he's got money and he's just like throwing, I mean, I really hope somebody talked to him. I mean, because that's just not the way to go. I mean, if you want to have fun, there's other ways of having fun instead of just taking a whole stack full of just throwing it in the air. Just what? Because you can. Absolutely stupid. Absolutely stupid. I really hope somebody talked to him. Seen throwing money and dancing. New York's most recent first-round pick may have helped his friend promote his new music video, which also takes place in the club. Some were less amused by Neighbor's weekend plans, but he seemingly stayed out of trouble, so we won't be telling him how to spend his offseason. Simply put, this won't be a problem unless Neighbors makes it one, and there's no indication that this will be the case. So let's hope that he I said, it's your money, you do what you want, but I mean, it's really, really stupid. I mean, there's absolutely nothing. I mean, if you want to help support your friend's video or something like that, there's other ways of doing it. I mean, how do you know that somewhere along the line, how do you know that that your daughter, your son may not need that for their college fund, and you just took $1,000, just threw it. Just it's on a strip club floor. Just threw it up in the air. Just really, really irresponsible. Well, once again, I really hope somebody talks to him because that's about as stupid as you can get. There's absolutely nothing that's good coming out of a strip club. I said if there's other, help support your friend's video or something like that. But once again, he's only 20. I mean, he's just a baby. Let's hope that maybe somebody. I mean, maybe like Allen Robinson, Allen Robinson, or somebody with some experience or whatever goes on and talks to him. Maybe explains that maybe once again, is it the worst thing in the world? Absolutely not. Is there a lot of other things he can do to be worse? Absolutely. It's just that, I mean, I don't know. I just, I don't like it. I know he don't care, but nobody cares what I think, right? He certainly doesn't. He ain't gonna ever listen to anything I got to say. But hopefully somebody at least talks to him a little bit, because there's really nothing good that's going to come from going to a strip club. So, all right, guys, been 58 minutes. Whoever spent any time listening to me live, thank you. Vinny G-Man, thank you, brother. Good talking to you, man. Thank you. So whoever spent any time listening to me live, thank you. Or if anybody's going to spend any time watching the replays, once again, thank you so much from the bottom of our means world. Thank you. As always, you guys stay safe out there and go Giants. Woo! Oh, yeah.